Hey guys, Saurav here, back with another video, and in this one I'm going to show you how you can deploy your Flask or Django or Fast API or any web app onto the web for free using Heroku.com. So Heroku.com is a free virtual infrastructure provider, and you can basically deploy any application onto Heroku for free. However, there is also a premium plan available, but the most basic one is definitely free of cost, which we will be using today. So to deploy your application onto Heroku, you just need two prerequisites. So one is that you need to have your application uploaded onto GitHub. So this is my application which I'm going to be deploying onto Heroku. It is a OCR tool, and obviously I have already deployed it once before this video, and this is what it looks like. So basically you can just select in any image, and so this is the image which I'm going to be selecting, and this application will convert the image, or rather extract the text from the image and present it to us in the actual text format so that I can process it or do whatever I want with it. If you want to know more about how I built this OCR tool, you can watch this video. It is pretty interesting. Once you do have a web application, right, so you just need to upload it to GitHub, and the second prerequisite comes in, which is that you need to make an account on Heroku.com, which is again very simple. So once you have your Heroku account, you just click on new over here, click on create a new app, give your app a name. So I'm going to be giving it some name like web app Python Saurav. So you need to make sure that your the name which you give is unique, because that will be the URL against which your app is going to be deployed. So once your application is created, you head on over to the deploy tab over here, and you can connect it to either GitHub or any other version control system. And once you connect it to GitHub, you do have to log in to your GitHub account. Once you do that, you can just type in the name of your repo. So in my case, the name is OCR tool. So when you click on search, it will find that repository for you. You click on connect, and you might want to enable automatic deploy. So if you do that, whenever you push a new commit to your repository, right, it will automatically build the entire thing again and deploy it. So it's pretty seamless that way. So I would enable automatic deploys and choose a branch which you want to deploy. So in my case, I have only one branch, so main it is, and then I click on deploy branch. Give that a minute. So here you can see that it has detected that your application is Python, and then it will go ahead and build it for you. So a couple of things which you might want to keep in mind is that your build process may fail for a couple of reasons. So the number one reason why it might fail is that it might not find a requirements.txt file, which is an absolute must to get your Python app up and running. So in your repository, you need to have a requirements.txt which lists all of the required libraries, all the libraries required by your application to successfully run it. And if your application is a Flask application, it is recommended that you install gunicorn as well, or you have gunicorn in your requirements.txt as well. If your application is, say, Fast API like me, then you need to have uvicorn in your requirements.txt. So these programs are just basically, web server programs which you can use to deploy your web app onto production. So let's come back over here. It says that the deployment was indeed successful. But before we go and view it, right, there might be some more issues which you might encounter. So in my case, this was the application which had a bunch of requirements, right? So these are all Python requirements. But what if your program needs certain other requirements which are not available on pip or PyPI? So for example, in my case, I have Tesseract, the OCR tool, which is a dependency. And that is why you need to create a file called apt file. And the name should be exactly like that. And inside that, you can write down or list all the third-party libraries which need to be installed onto the Linux server. So basically, Heroku hosts a free Linux server for you. So whatever third-party tools or libraries or packages you require to be installed, you need to install them via apt, and that's why you need to have this apt file. So in my case, I have these two libraries which need to be installed using apt, and this file is how Heroku knows what packages to install using apt. So that file might be a requirement for you depending on your use case. The third thing which you need to deploy your application is a proc file. So this proc file, and it should be spelled exactly like this. This proc file is the file which points to or which contains the actual command which is used to get your server up and running. So in my case, since I'm using Fast API and UVcorn, this would be the one line of code inside this proc file which basically tells Heroku that look, this is a web application. I want you to deploy it using UVcorn, and here you will point it to the location of your application. So basically, my application is contained inside server.py. So I have server over here, and the object inside it which hosts the application or which contains the application is called app. So I can show that to you. So if I go over to server.py, this is the app which I'm referring to. So if you're deploying a Flask application, you should refer to that. And then you need to specify the host on which you need to deploy. Since we're deploying it to the web, public web, we need to have it as 0.0.0.0. And this part points to the port on which to deploy your web application. If you don't specify any port, it would use the default one of 8000. So those were a couple of things which you might need or you will need to get your application deployed successfully. So in my case, you might also need to add additional build packs. So what a build pack is basically, right, it's a script that runs when your app is deployed. It tells the application, the Heroku application, what to expect or what prerequisites to have before deploying your application. So if it automatically detects Python, then awesome. If it doesn't detect Python, then you can just click here and add it. In my case, I need to add another build pack, which is the app build pack, since I've given an app file and I require that my application should install a bunch of things from app. That is why I have to specify this Heroku build pack app so that Heroku can download those things from app. So I'll save those changes, add that build pack here. That's pretty much it to deploy your application. And in a few cases where you need environment variables to be configured in your web app, you can do that over here in this section. So config vars is the place where you can define some environment variables which are used by your application. If your application doesn't use any environmental variables, then you can just skip this section altogether. In my case, however, I do need an environment variable. So if you're following this tutorial for building an OCR tool, then you need to have this test data prefix, which points to the data directory of Tesseract. And the value of that should be this over here. I have all this information in my GitHub repo as well as a description below if you want to check that out. So in my case, I've added some environment variables, I've added an extra build pack, and we've discussed about proc file as well as app file. So coming back to Heroku over here, I'm gonna go ahead and deploy it again once more so that it picks up all the new changes which we have made. All right, so at the end of this log, we can see that the app is successfully deployed. And if we go over to this link, this is the link which houses your web app. It is the same name as the name which you've given to your web app. And if we go over to that link, we can see that our OCR tool has indeed been deployed. So that's about it. It's pretty simple to deploy web apps for free now. And if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. There's a bunch of new content coming in and I really want you guys to enjoy. So yeah, thank you for watching.